In today's video, we're going to break down my favorite trading signal. This is my bread and butter A1 system, and this is a system that you can learn too. Anyone can pick this up. Today, it's put 23 pips in my pocket already here on GbpUsd. It's only 4:50 in the morning. I normally wake up around 5. This morning, I woke up a little bit earlier, and literally as soon as I got to the chart, everybody in the VIP chat was looking at different trades. A good amount of people were long GbpUsd. So because I know those people have taken the courses and trade the same way that I do, I can go look at GbpUsd and feel confident that even if I'm a few minutes late like I was here, if I know how to manage that and I can read good risk reward, there's money to be made. So now my stop was about 30 pips. I'm almost at 1R here at 25 pips profit. I want to show you here on TradingView on the 15-minute why I liked this to come higher today and why my first profit target is this 800 EMA. So here on the short term, just from the changeover of day, which is right here, coming into now about 5 o'clock this morning, New York time, look at how the 50 and the 200 EMAs are coming up towards that 800 and the TDI is in the buy zone. So both of those things, the buy zone TDI and the EMAs in the short term coming up, tells me that the 800 EMA is profit target number one. Then what I do is I'd go to the higher time frames and say, well, where's the bias here? Well, TDI on the 1 hour is rising and in the buy zone. Short-term EMAs are headed up towards that 200 EMA here, which is the same thing on the 15-minute as the 800. So that makes sense. So this looks good for a little bit of push here as well. 4 hour, that's pretty low in the sell zone you see on the TDI. EMAs overall are in a downtrend. We're getting close to that 50. So that's not so long biased. And then on the daily, same thing, not so long biased here. But the short term, the 15-minute, the 1 hour, they're telling us that we could definitely get some push, at least from where we are right now, up to the 800 EMA, which is still another 26 pips. And right now, I'm already up 26. So if we can get to that 800, I'm late on my entry, so I size down a little bit. I'm not hitting it like an A setup. But if we can get to the 800, I'm going to get over 2R on this trade at least. If we break the 800, you can see I have 100 pips marked here. The average daily range on this pair right now is massive, 419. So if it wants to move what it does over the last 5 days on an average day, it's got 285 pips to go from my entry. So I'm not going to try to say this is doing that because we do have the trend overall not being long in every time frame, but I am going to hold the trade candle by candle because it can push and it can extend well to get me into profit to be able to lock the stop and go from there. Now you can see it, look, up 35, 36, up over 1R now. We're almost at that 800 EMA. I want to show you on the 1 minute too. From when I took my entry, look at this, no pain. This is what you want to see. If it came down and broke the yellow and the red, the 8 and the 21, that'd be the first sign that I might be wrong. But if it holds the 8 EMA here on the 1 minute, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Same thing I look for it to do here on the 15-minute. So this is where I'm at in the trade. We have 5 minutes left until 5 o'clock. We'll see where the 5 o'clock candle puts us. Maybe it bodies the 800. Maybe it gets a little bit closer, and then we'll judge from there. But as soon as I'm up a couple more pips, I'm probably going to take off some profit because we're about 1R, and I'll lock the stop loss as well. And then I'll come back on and update you guys as this thing develops candle by candle. But I appreciate you being here, and I hope that by the end of this video, you really do have a good understanding for what the A1 system is, these breakout entries, and how I'm hitting it almost every single day. And even if you're late, if you know where the stop loss should go, you can size in appropriately and still take advantage because you can read it candle by candle. If it does this, I'm going to do this. If it holds the 8 EMA, I'm going to stay in the trade. You know what I'm saying? When you have repeatable systems, it's very easy, even if you're a few minutes late. So I hope you're finding value. We're up 35 pips. I'll be back in a little bit. As expected, at 5 o'clock, we pushed up and just touched the 800 EMA on the 15-minute. As you can see, I closed half the position. I'm still up 38 pips in the second half, but I had to take the bag. So let me show you why. Here on the 15-minute, like I was saying in that previous clip, the 800 EMA is going to be that first take profit area. Now, of course, it could hold the 8 EMA, the yellow line, and body through the 800 and continue higher. And that's why I still have half the trade in. But because my risk management systems are preset, it's very predefined, on a setup like this, when I'm a little bit late, that does factor into it. I have to lock the stop loss, especially up after I'm up over 1R. So now that I've taken half the trade, put the stop loss in profit, I can't lose any money. If you do this same process behind a winning system over and over again, you will never go red more days than you go blue. And that's the most important thing, is that we survive, we grow our accounts, we can trade bigger, we can make more money. Keep it simple. So again, the A1 breakout, new high a day off the 21, perfect TDI, gives you the take profit target of the 800 EMA. Had I had a perfect entry, you're looking at 68 pips to the top. Still, I got about 42, 43 out of it at best, and now I'm up 31, 33 in the second half of the position. We'll see if it wants to come back a little bit. If it does come back and touch the 8 EMA, it'll take me out, and I'll move on to the next one good trade. But I'm hoping that after doing all these live recaps, it's actually starting to stick with you guys how these patterns are repeatable and how simple they are and how tradable they are if you understand the language that we use to interpret this chart. I know some people will be like, I can't read that. That's crazy. There's indicators there. But if you learn the language, you can apply the language, and language can create new definitions of things that never even existed before. That's the power of language. So for someone to say, I don't use indicators, they don't work, you got to be open-minded, guys. You got to be willing to learn, because I can prove to you how these systems work. Look at all my other videos. Look at the back testing. Look at the live testing. You'll see these patterns every single day. So you just got to know what to look for. But that is the crux, the underlying thesis of this A1 system. The A1s are these breakout trades that come for new high a day, new low a day, off a solid EMA in trend. More times than not, those breakouts, when you can confirm them with the TDI, confirm them with the price action, confirm them with the EMAs, confirm them with the higher time frames, those formations are going to win for you more times than not. That's why I was willing to get in even a few minutes late here. So if you take a look at the 1 minute one more time, look at how since the entry, it never broke the 8 EMA. From when I got in, straight to the top. Never broke the 8 EMA until right now, after I already have 50% of the trade out. Now, it'll still probably hold the 21. It could even hold the 50. I have the 50 right here. It could hold both of those EMAs and still come higher. So I like, I like where the stop is. I like that I'm 50% out, following my risk management rules. That's what I wanted to show you guys here, is that not only are these a technical system where it's like, hey, here's the pattern, trade the pattern, there's also risk management. We're up 1R, take some off, put the stop loss in profit because it's a C setup. If it was an A setup, I'd probably have a little bit more on still, but I don't need to. Snag bag. Right now, the volatility, it's crazy right now. Snag bag, snag bag, snag bag. One good trade at a time. One good trade, one good trade, one good trade. All right, guys, it is 7:10. As you can see, I am flat. I just closed the remaining piece of the trade that I had in. I'm going to pull up the 1 minute here and show you. It was coming down towards my stop loss that was locked in profit, so I just yanked it before it hit the stop because it was very, very close. I mean, within 3 or 4 pips. It probably would have hit me right there with that little pin. Either way, the reason for that is because you see this 1 minute TDI, how the RSI and market sentiment line and trend line, they're all falling here from about 5:59, 6 o'clock on. Notice the divergence on top here, okay? So when we see divergence like this with the rising price action and the falling RSI, if you remember in the earlier clips, we were saying not all of the time frames are long biased. Some of them are short biased. This bearish divergence pushing this RSI lower from 5 o'clock into 6 o'clock with rising price action, that tells us that if we break the, I think for me, for our signals, if we break and hold the 50, and that's what we get here, break, retest, and hold, right? That tells me this level is now resistance, and we might see this come lower. And as this TDI comes down into that lower zone, that confirms to me more, that confirms to me more that this is actually coming lower. So it's better for me to get out of the trade and just either look for another trade if I wanted to keep trading, or just come back and do it again tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this win. It's only 7 o'clock. I'm very happy with it. A nice size gain for me. I'll put the P&L here so you guys can see that. But really, really simple trading this morning, right? I was a little bit late. If you remember on the 15-minute entry, a little bit late. I watched it hold the 8 EMA. We wanted to, I always do that. We wanted to see it come and hold that 8 EMA and rise to the 800. It's exactly what it did. That blue line is the 800 EMA. TDI said buy it. Short-term EMA said buy it. New high a day. I mean, everything was leaning towards seeing this thing come higher to some extent. But again, with the higher time frames, the daily and the 4 hour, like I showed you, being short biased, you wouldn't necessarily want to think this could be an all-day runner. So to get it to the 800, that's why I took most of the trade out there. And then to see it even extend higher, that's a great move. 100 pips here. At worst, that's 2.7 R. My stop wasn't 37 pips. It was closer to 20. So really, just a nice trade here this morning. Bread and butter A1 entry systems. And then, again, that's why I want this video to be focused on my favorite strategy. The divergence stuff is great. Seeing that divergence to tell you that you could, possibly see it come lower, that's all great. That's the advanced stuff that we teach in the advanced course. Now look, definitely would have stopped me out here. But this bread and butter I keep calling it bread and butter because it's the original stuff I've been doing since 2016. This stuff is where it starts. So if you're looking to master one system, let it be this one. Let it be the A1. Reach out to me down below. Drop a comment if you have any questions. And there's links in the description to this video to get started with our courses. I know this coronavirus stuff is making it difficult for some people to invest in themselves because they need to, keep the money to pay the bills, to keep the lights running right now. I understand that. So I'm making payment plans and making deals with people. Just reach out to me. I want to help you in any way that I can. So stay healthy, stay safe. If you have any questions, again, please drop the comments down below. I'm here to help you guys. And I'm hoping that enough of these recaps, if you watch enough of them, you'll finally be motivated to say, you know what? This is way more precise than what I'm doing, and I want to learn what Austin's doing. And then from here, once you learn the A1 and like this system here, then you'll go on to the D1 and the D2. You'll have 3 entry and exit systems that you can use every single day to find trades, and you'll be able to use divergence, like I did today, to show you an area where, you know what, this is a good area to start taking profit because we could see change. Divergence doesn't mean reversal, it means change. That's a little inside tip from our courses. But here you go, you can see it pushing a little bit lower now. Definitely would have stopped me out. So we made a good decision to yank the trade and lock that stop in profit. So a good morning, 3rd win of the week. Again, I appreciate you guys very much. If you have any questions, hit me below. Use the links to join us. Let me know if you want to get started. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. So thank you for the time, and I'll see you in the next trade.